Profile tonight of a living legend. Mack Miya is one of the originals on the city's body lifting scene. His No Frills gym has been open for 50 years, and his clients consider him a master and a mentor. Jim Lagajana spent a few days at Mack's gym. Here's his pumping iron primer.
Well, today, just for you, I'm going to do a little upper body work, okay?
When it comes to practicing what you preach, nobody does it better. It's 7 in the morning, and 80-year-old Mack Miya is already up and at it.
We just do light exercise this morning.
In fact, he's been at it for more than half a century.
It keeps you young. And after all, I've been doing this for 60 years, so for a fella 80, I'm doing pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Why did you get into it in the first place?
Well, when I was a kid, I had a heart murmur, and they told me I should do some exercise and keep in shape.
And he's been doing that ever since.
This is 200 pounds, which I used to lift with one hand.
He opened his first gym 50 years ago, designing lots of his own equipment.
This is made 50 years ago, and it's still here.
The only thing that has changed over the years is the address. Today, Max is on Dundas Street in the city's West End. Ultimate fighting, boxing, karate, nothing pretty here. Max is a throwback to the gyms of old.
Thanks to Mac, at my age, I'm so proud to be doing this.
How old are you?
I'm 49.
You're coming out with a lot of state-of-the-art equipment, and there are beautiful gyms all over. But this place is called the Hardcore Bodybuilding Gym, and we don't have any girls or things like that to interfere with our training.
Women can join, but not many do. But who goes to the gym doesn't really matter to these guys, because for them, it's all work, no play.
No women.
Yeah, so what's going on? Why no women?
I don't know, I guess they're intimidated of the facility. Got guys screaming, pushing it hard.
Hardcore is just free weights, just no fancy stuff. Just come in, do your thing, yell, scream, sweat.
So what kind of a guy comes here then?
Somebody who's willing to train and wants to put on some size to look good.
Speaking of looking good, Mac's resume is almost as impressive as his biceps.
I became a strongman, so I got up to 300 pounds one arm overhead, and I travel all over the world doing it. And this way I got good publicity from doing lifting. And I was at the Canadian National Exhibition for several years.
Mac's done it all. Wrist wrestling champ, boxing champ, black belt in karate. He's also been a pinup boy.
I was a Sunshine Boy 3 times at Toronto Sun. And at that time was ringing off the hook because nobody believed I was 64 at the time.
More than 15 years on, Mighty Mac still isn't showing his age.
Well, for 80 years old, I tell you, there's no one in this world I've ever seen at that age look like Mac. So it must be doing something right. So if I stay here, maybe when I'm 80, I'll look like I'm 50.
If there's a fountain of youth,
it's a soya bean product with a skim milk.
Mac must be drinking out of it. He says his secret is discipline. Daily exercise and a high-protein, low-fat diet. And, of course, good genetics. Mac's parents immigrated to Vancouver from Japan.
My dad was a commercial fisherman and a logger. So I had a punching power more than the average person. That's from chopping trees down with an axe or sledgehammer.
Mac started out boxing on the West Coast, but then World War II changed everything.
All Japanese nationals.
The Canadian government sent Mac's family to a Japanese internment camp in Ontario.
They confiscated a lot of our property, and we got very little compensation for it. But in a way, it was a blessing in disguise because when I came to Ontario, I got into the gym business, whereas if I was in BC, I would have to go into fishing and logging.
Instead, Mac has dedicated his life to physical fitness. These days, he spends more time working with others than he does working on himself.
In California, they train 3 times a day. With a body like that, you could go into anything.
Well, what advice do you give them?
I would tell them to keep training hard, and one day then we could do commercials, get into movies, whatnot.
I think he wants to be your agent. I think so too.
Sure.
The originator. Yeah. Without Mack, wouldn't have been as it is today here.
I mean, he teaches a lot of stuff here and there. He tells us, like, you're doing this wrong and doing that wrong, and proper form is always number one to him.
And proper form is Mack's mantra.
The idea is to keep the blood flowing and you be in good condition forever. And I've proven it. Eh?
Mighty Mack is proof positive that growing old is really just a state of mind. Jim Lagajana, CBC News, Toronto.